One of the most popular movie villain Broly finally came into the canon storyline by the 2018 movie Dragon Ball Super Broly. So hello and welcome to UnderYZ, my name is Soham and thank you so much for joining in. In this video we are going to talk about the life of DBS Broly. But before that, if you're new here then please consider subscribing to our channel since I do weekly anime and manga related content along with a bunch of other stuff. With that being said, let's begin the video. Now Dragon Ball Super's Broly is a much more kind-hearted yet confused individual in comparison to his non-canon counterpart. This was something that Toriyama deliberately did to enhance his character in the canon lore. For years, Broly was already a mega popular character that fans already loved and wanted to see more of, and therefore after the suggestions by his editor, Toriyama decided to rearrange his story and add it to a Dragon Ball Minus-like backstory to retell the events including the story of our protagonist as well. This was a welcome change that transformed Broly from a mindless brute to a much more sympathetic character who has been basically manipulated his entire life. Now according to the Dragon Ball timeline, Broly was born in the year 732, which is basically around the same time when our Prince Vegeta was also born. However, he surprised everyone because he was born with a power level of 10,000, which was even greater than the newborn prince. This power was so great that upon testing, it was found that Broly broke each of the Saiyan attribute and latent capabilities as well, and therefore he had to be placed in the same incubation chamber as the children of the elite Saiyans, including that of Prince Vegeta as well, and all of this is much to the dismay of the king. Interestingly, however, this power was quite unstable and it grew and flattered each and every single time to the point where it even reached a mere power level of 920. However, some time passed by and Broly started living on planet Vegeta along with his father Paragus. But in due course of time, due to his paranoia and jealousy, King Vegeta ordered to send Broly away to a frontier planet under the false pretense that Broly would be an unstable Saiyan and a threat to the planet as well. But Paragus obviously understood this move of King Vegeta and he defied all commands in order to pursue his son and swore to take his revenge upon King Vegeta one day. Eventually, Broly arrived or rather reached planet Vampa and easily survived there for a few days before eventually Paragus arrived on a different hijacked ship. However, owing to his incredible powers, Broly survived on Vampa on his very own and was even able to slaughter countless native creatures of the planet by even going to his giant ape form. But eventually after arriving on this planet, Paragus decided to cut down Broly's tail in order to stop him from destroying everything in a matter of rampage. Sometime later, however, to contain Broly's explosive powers, Paragus decides to attach a shock collar to him as well in order to make him behave. But unfortunately, both the pod and the ship was destroyed in the process, so there was no return home for them. And therefore this started the life of Broly and Paragus on planet Vampa, and in the meantime, Paragus decided to train Broly throughout his entire life as a weapon for his revenge against King Vegeta. Now during his stay on planet Vampa, Broly encountered a giant creature that he named Ba, and he constantly spars with Ba and eventually befriends him in the process as well. Unfortunately enough, Paragus saw this development as an hindrance to the strong training regime of Broly, and as a result of it, he shoots Ba, which severs the ear as a result. This was a very traumatic incident for Broly because this event made Ba leave and never ever trust Broly ever again. But because Ba was his first friend ever, Broly went on to wear the severed ear of Ba as a sort of memento from his friend. Since then, Broly continued his training under Paragus. Now 5 years from then, the Saiyan eradication incident happened at the hands of Frieza, and Goku's pod leaves for Earth as well, just in the nick of time. And in the meantime in the movie, Broly is seen eating a Vampa beetle from a giant eggshell as he looks towards the sky as Goku's space pod passes by. Now several years pass by and things start to shake up in the current timeline after the Tournament of Power ends, when Frieza starts to increase the Frieza Force once again. Currently somewhere out in space, Cheelai and Lemo have started searching for strong people in order to recruit for the Frieza Force. Lemo is an old non-combatant member and Cheelai is a new member who has never really actually seen Frieza. In their journey as they pass through planet Vampa, they intercept a distress signal from an older model of the Frieza Force ship. And yes, this was indeed the ship which had crash landed on Vampa. Hoping to make a bonus, they quickly made landing and investigated the old wreckage, where they eventually stumble upon Paragus. Lemo, being an old member, immediately recognized Paragus as a Saiyan because of his tail, and soon Broly comes in and saves them from a Vampa beetle that tries to attack them as well. Cheelai on the other hand tries to record Broly's power level, but it simply breaks because by adulthood, Broly's power level is quite unreadable even by the most advanced scouters, which is literally a meme at this point. In the meantime, Paragus also learns about the destruction of the Saiyans, and eventually he also realizes that his dream of taking down King Vegeta will remain unfulfilled now. However, this matter is immediately reported back to Frieza, and Broly and Paragus are taken to him directly. Frieza is genuinely intrigued by the prospect of more Saiyans being alive and immediately hatches a plan where he added Broly into the mix as well. However, Broly, having no social interactions so far, has absolutely no knowledge on how to associate with people and therefore is unable to answer his name when Frieza asks for it. The only reaction he can give is of annoyance and terror when Paragus brings out the remote to his collar, which electrocutes him when he misbehaves. But after being satisfied with this and understanding Broly's innate power, Frieza tells Paragus of Vegeta's existence, or rather Prince Vegeta's existence, and how he can exact his revenge upon the prince. Therefore, this starts the cunning plan of Frieza to manipulate Broly to fight both Goku and Vegeta. Because in the midst of the movie, there is also the subplot of Frieza trying to gain the Dragon Balls as well. But in the meantime, Broly and Paragus are taken and given new Frieza Force armors, and they later come to the hall to eat as well. Quite a lot of stuff happens here that depict how much different this Broly is from his non-canon counterpart, because despite his explosive tendencies, he is an absolutely pure soul at heart who stands up for Cheelai when another Frieza Force brute tries to hit on her uncomfortably. Broly is agitated by this because Cheelai and Limo are the only people to whom he actually opens up, and he's ready to stand up for them to the point where he even ignores the direct orders of his father. He even grabs the soldier Daigen by his neck and threatens him, but just in the meantime, Paragus decides to discipline Broly by electrocuting him via the collar, which is extremely barbaric. Cheelai is stunned by this, but she shrewdly steals the remote when Paragus is summoned by Frieza, and she later destroys the remote, thereby freeing Broly forever from these shackles. She even brings him more food, and thus Broly opens up to both of them and narrate his story to them up until this particular regard, and what exactly happened to the Belt of Ba, and what exactly was going on at this particular moment, especially in regards to the new armor as well. Moreover, both of them suggest Broly to leave his abusive father, but Broly, being the pure soul that he is not willing to tolerate any ill words against his father. He kind of has developed a dependency on him, even though Paragus visually abuses Broly and only sees him as a means for his revenge. Now eventually they reach Earth in accordance to Frieza's plan, where Broly meets Goku and Vegeta for the very first time. And under the orders of Paragus, Broly starts his fight against Vegeta. Now here's something very interesting happens, because while he has aggressively trained with his father his whole life, he initially lacks any combat skill or any true combat skill beyond basic attacks, and therefore he is not able to detect the combat patterns which both Goku and Vegeta have developed after their numerous fights. And therefore, even though he actually is powerful enough, but he actually lacks the skills necessary to go out on a full brawl. This is something which even Frieza notices, and this is something which absolutely crushes the soul of Paragus, because he knows that this is apparently the true limit of Broly, and once he sees Vegeta transforming into the Super Saiyan form, he is totally heartbroken. And Frieza is kind of taken aback by this as well, because he didn't knew that Broly was actually capable of turning into Super Saiyan. And due to this, Broly was just fighting via sheer brute force, and he even was utilizing wild attacks, storms and grappling hooks as well. But eventually, when he's pressurized by a strong foe, Broly's true latent energy or true latent power kicks in, and his Saiyan heritage finally drops in upon him, and slowly but steadily he's able to take over Super Saiyan Vegeta as well, to the point where Vegeta actually has to transform into the Super Saiyan God form as well. And Paragus is obviously taken aback by this, because he didn't know Broly had something like this in him, and prior to this he was also trying to call back Broly, but since he was not listening to him, he tried to electrocute him through the collars, but lo and behold, the remote was already destroyed by Limo and Cheelai. So there it goes, Broly is essentially free now, and he's doing whatever he wants to do. Now from this point onwards, the movie is essentially a full out brawl, and the fighting involved here is insane, because slowly down the line, Broly is evolving. He is truly evolving into his true sense. His Saiyan power and his Saiyan instincts are kicking in slowly but steadily, and initially to go head to head over Super Saiyan God Vegeta, Broly transforms into the Wrathful stage, which is a very interesting transformation. It's something which we have seen in old school Dragon Ball as well. It's essentially a Saiyan mode where the Saiyan can tap into the powers of the Great Ape inside the normal Saiyan body. And eventually he switches over to Goku as well. He starts fighting Goku and Vegeta at the same time, but slowly he's overwhelmed by the power of Super Saiyan Goku. But just then, Frieza, being the cunning master planner that he is, remembers something. He remembers that all the way back on Namek, Goku transformed into the Super Saiyan form after he witnessed the death of his close friend in the form of Krillin. So Frieza immediately remembers that there needs to be some sort of an emotional kick or emotional push which is going to push Broly over the edge, and because of this, he fires a cunning shot at Paragus and screams at Broly, saying that as a result of this particular fight, his father has been killed. This enrages Broly to an extremely different level, and he just erupts in power, and for the very first time, he transforms into the Super Saiyan form. Because even though Paragus has basically been a bully and an abuser to him his entire life, but he was the person whom he adored the most. He was the person whom he admired the most. Paragus was the person on whom Broly depended the most. So obviously he had a dependency on him, and to see his father getting killed in front of him is obviously going to trigger in the transformation that is Super Saiyan form. Now one by one, Broly is able to evade all the moves of Goku and Vegeta. He uses absolutely ridiculous powers and absolutely ridiculous moves, for example the giant cyclonic attack, the mouth beams, the planet crushers and more. He is even able to tank a full powered attack by Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. And at this point, because both of them are getting overwhelmed by Broly, Goku and Vegeta decided to teleport back to Piccolo because they needed the fusion dance in order to fuse and become Gogeta. But in the meantime, while they were gone, Broly notices none other than Frieza, and he absolutely destroys Frieza. Even golden form of Frieza is no match to the brute strength of Broly, and Frieza is totally taken aback by that. And after he's done toying with Frieza, he even notices Whis in the background and he tries to attack Whis. But obviously Whis is a totally different creature. He is easily able to sway or remove all the attacks of Broly. But in the meantime, Gogeta comes to the scene. This is the first reappearance, or rather the first canon appearance of Gogeta in the Dragon Ball lore. So there you go, two absolutely fan favorite characters in the very same movie. This is one of the major reasons why this movie was so damn popular. But anyway, initially Broly's overwhelming power was able to, evade all the attacks of Gogeta. But slowly, as Gogeta transformed into the Super Saiyan state as well as the Super Saiyan Blue state, things started to shift, and eventually Broly also transforms into the full power legendary Super Saiyan form. This is absolutely huge, and he retaliated with a huge attack, and both of these attacks collided, and this literally shattered the fabric of reality as well as the two combatants used their powers. But slowly it is very clear that Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta is obviously having an upper hand, and because of this, Broly is obviously going to get killed. And this is something which even Chilai and Lemo notice, and therefore Chilai hatches a plan to save Broly. She goes up and uses the Dragon Balls to make a wish to send Broly back to planet Vampa where he belonged, and in the nick of time, just before the full force Kamehameha is fired at Broly, Broly is finally sent back to planet Vampa. He has calmed down now and he has transformed back into his regular form, and this basically stops the legendary fight between Broly versus Goku and Vegeta. Now Chilai and Lemo immediately decide to pursue after Broly, and they decide to head over to planet Vampa in order to save him because they know that he needs someone now that Paragus is gone. Eventually we see that some time has passed now, and they are obviously in a food shortage kind of situation. They don't really know what they should do, or they don't really know how they are going to survive here. But in the meantime, who appears? It is none other than Goku himself, who has taken in some of the supplies of Capsule Corporation, and therefore he provides not only Broly but even Chilai and Lemo housing space and even food. Moreover, Goku explains to the group that he used his instant transportation to track Broly's ki, and therefore he was able to come to this particular location, and he also tells them that he is going to revisit them if they need anything, and he's also going to engage in Broly in another bout if the group does not wander too far away. Broly also likes the idea of fighting Goku once again, and finally Goku leaves planet Vampa by saying his name, that is the fact that he is Goku, but Broly, specifically Broly, can call him Kakarot because he has now accepted his Saiyan heritage. So this is essentially the full story of Broly explained up until this moment in the Dragon Ball timeline. It is heavily implied that he is going to be involved in future stories of Dragon Ball as well. It's obviously going to be interesting to see which exact story he's going to be involved in. He was not a part of the Moro arc, but let's see if he's going to be involved in the Granola arc or maybe sometime in the future. But even then, Broly is now a canon addition to the Dragon Ball lore, which is the most important part, and we are obviously excited to see more of him. If anything more comes up about Broly in the future, I'm obviously going to update this video as well. But in the meantime, as of the recording of this video, this is everything that we know about Broly in relation to the Dragon Ball Super timeline. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more. So, do you like this new version of Broly? Please do let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Once again, thank you so much for joining in, guys. Also, please join the channel membership for some very cool perks and features, and also join our Discord server as well. We have a lot of discussions in relation to anime, manga, and more. With that being said, guys, this is YZ, and I'll see you soon on the next one.